5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Firewatch. So hopefully it works this time. I actually did record a little bit of this a little bit earlier, and you can see, I mean, I only played for a little bit, but I did record. I put headphones on, so none of the audio went through, and all the audio got screwed up. My mic audio was screwed up. It just wasn't good. So I'm gonna re-record it, and hopefully it'll be better. I mean, so yeah, I do know what happens in the first 2 days. The first 2 days, or the first two thingies. So yeah, but after that, I have no clue. And I had already watched a little bit of it on YouTube, so it's no big deal. But I don't expect to be talking too much or anything like that, during this series. I mean, I'll talk a little bit, but don't expect this to be the kind of series like Nuclear Throne or Bloodborne where I explain everything. I just kind of want to talk and stuff. So you're at a bar or whatever, you see Julia. And I'm going to make all the same choices that I made on the other session. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You are drunk. You're pretty. You're pretty, she says coolly. You are not. You are a future hangover. What? You reply, she confused. Someone should buy you a cheeseburger, she says. She flags down a waiter, and 1 week later, you are Julia's boyfriend. Ah, yes. In the elevator. I really like how it does the intro of this game. I really like how it did the intro. Dude, Henry looks like a rotund young man. Dude, you can I mean, you can't yet. But you can fucking just palm cinder blocks. Nothing, I don't think anything happens when you go up here. It sucks though, because like I said, I used headphones before, and to be honest, I really, really liked the idea of using headphones. I was wearing them, and I was like, holy shit, the music sounds amazing, everything sounds amazing, wow, this is amazing, this is great. But then it all fucked up, and so I can't use headphones. Can we just get in the car? You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. You move in. You share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. Julia wants to get a dog. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia is in love. She wants to bring it to her class. With her to class, sorry. There's also an intimidating but gentle-eyed German Shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. So, I read this and I was like, okay, obviously the German Shepherd will protect her later on in the story, I guess, in this little miniature story that it's telling. But if it were me, I put myself in this situation, I would definitely pick the beagle. So I picked the beagle. You name the beagle Bucket. Bucket's a good dog, and a week later, you've totally forgotten about the other one. Julia loves him. You love him too. 1997. Or 79, sorry, that's when I was born, 97. 1979, you walk out on the deck. It's summer, 9:30 p.m., and the heat still radiates off the high desert. What do you think about kids, she asks. Kids? They're not very smart or good at much. I'm saying if you and I have a couple of little idiots, in this situation, I definitely pick that would be pretty good. In that case, we should probably get married. Yeah, I would like that, you say. These kids are going to be screwed up enough. It's probably the best that their parents are hitched. You say she's absolutely right. Oh, dude. Nice! Examine, dude. Let's look at this fucking hat. Cody, Wyoming? Cody, Wyoming. And then it's like a dude. We're definitely putting the hat on. Extreme fire danger. Right now, we are in extreme. And then there's forest burns. Those two things I actually did not find before, like on my first walkthrough, on my first like go through of this, I guess. One thing I thought about though is like, is he just gonna like leave his car here for 9 months or 6 months or 3 months or however long like he's out here for? Cause like you know, like does he literally just like leave his car? It's a Thursday night and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call, you're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. I said that I would get mad because, like, she didn't call or anything. Like, you're just not gonna not say anything. Like, I'd be like, hey, what's the deal? Like, where were you and stuff? Like, so I'd be like, you get mad. You call her an inconsiderate asshole. She tells you to fuck yourself and to not be such a baby. You call her selfish. She knows you mean it, and it hurts her feelings. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plants from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. I could not pick. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, what would I do? And then I was like, oh, I'll probably be honest. If I'm being honest with myself, I would probably frolic like a Victoria's Secret model. Julia was right. You are very pretty. I don't know, this color palette's really good. Is there like, I wonder if there's like 8 more miles still. I wonder if there's like an achievement to get all the hats. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder. There's an achievement. 1982. During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking Bucket at night. There's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Oh shit. Bucket gets kicked. Bah, fuck the dog. Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she is stressed. You confront the attacker. I'm be honest, I beat his fucking face in. I beat his goddamn face in. Your arm gets cut up, but you beat the guy to a pulp. You don't feel very tough. You cry your eyes out before the cops show up. Julia asks to take a different path from that day forward. You say, okay, you don't want to go that way further. Then on, you walk by the river. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work. 1984. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale's in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job. Associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. I'm gonna definitely agree if she commutes back and forth. You ask her if she'll commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut. She says that it'll be hard, but she'll do it if you won't move. You tell her not to pass it up, but that's what she wants. She agrees. She flies back to Boulder 3 times each semester. Julia is sent home from Yale on paid leave after having an episode. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember. She had happily loaned them to her just 2 days prior. She was found crying in the stairwell. I tell her, you make macaroni and drink. Like, I don't know. I tell her you gotta go talk to somebody. Of course you gotta go talk to somebody. After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, you are worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She is 41. You both decide to keep it a secret for now. Hopefully his Wang isn't here. Is his Wang gonna be here? His Ween. Oh. Awesome. It's fucking wiener. I gotta edit that out. I gotta blur that out. Blur out the ween. Bucket is getting older. Julia comments that it's kind of nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes into a panic, believing her dad is at the door. You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits. From Danielle, the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else, somewhere with 24-hour care, a home. It sits with you for a couple of months. I decided to move her into a facility with full-time care. I mean, I know it's kind of like, oh, you fucking asshole, but it's like, come on, like, if she, like, I'd rather her, like, you know, have a hope at a normal life than, like, you know. So I picked the facility. You know. Not that old Henry can't do it himself, it's just, you know, it should be done by a professional, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something Henry needs to take upon himself, you know what I mean? Oh, there's a deer. What's up, dude? Her family agrees with your decision. You find a fantastic place in Boulder and move her there. You see her every day, then every other day. You go out to the bar with your old friends. It's not the same. You get the feeling that every wife tells her husband, if you ever put me in a home like Henry did, I will cut your balls off. You slowly decide to not see your old friends that much. Julia's sister Susan moves to Boulder to be close to her. She visits her every day. You go with her some of the time. Susan buys you an old typewriter and urges you to use it if you won't see a therapist. You won't. You've always really liked Susan. Susan's alright. Months go by. Bucket dies. Julia doesn't remember him when you tell her. Sometimes it takes her a minute to lock in on you. In the back of your mind, you believe it's because you see her less and less, and seeing her less and less makes her forget you more. You think summer is coming and you see an ad in the paper for a job. You take it. And that's how you start out ye olden Firewatch. And that depressing ass story. It is really sad. Like, I can't imagine, like, you know, something like that happening to me. That shit would fuck me up, you know what I'm saying? Tells you to enter the lookout, but, you know, can't hurt to look around a little bit, right? I didn't actually look around before. I guess we'll just go to the lookout. We'll just go to the fucking lookout. Lookout tower, here we come. Lookout tower, here we come. All the windows are boarded up and shit, like. Turn on the power.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
Definitely nobody back home can stand you.
Okay, you're probably out here because nobody back home can stand you. Which, after this brief introduction, is not a big shock.
Ouch. I'll chalk that up to you being tired and grumpy.
Well, I'd better get some sleep then.
One sec. Now it's my turn.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you. I say you got fired from your job and have finally decided to write your novel. That's the sort of bullshit reason you'll find a man out in the woods.
Good night.
Welcome to the job.
Bam! Thanks for watching. First episode of Firewatch. See you in the next one.